Imagine waking up tomorrow and knowing that for the rest of your life, you will never feel rain on your skin. You will never smell the ocean. You will never look up at a blue sky. You will never hear birds, never feel a natural breeze, never taste food grown from the living earth. This isn't a thought experiment. For the first Mars colonists, this will be reality every single day. We spend billions talking about the physics of getting to Mars, the rockets, the radiation, the terraforming, but almost nobody asks the deeper question. What does it do to a human mind, to a human soul, to exist like this? The world they're leaving behind. Before we go to Mars, we need to understand what humans are built for, because what we're built for is exactly what Mars doesn't have. For 300,000 years, Homo sapiens evolved under an open sky. We evolved to feel sunlight shift from morning gold to afternoon white, to feel temperature change on our skin, to smell rain before it falls, a phenomenon so universal it has a name, petrichor. We evolved to hear wind move through trees, to watch seasons change, to orient ourselves by landmarks, by stars we could actually see without a filter. Our nervous systems are not just wired to tolerate nature, they depend on it. A landmark field of research called attention restoration theory, developed by Rachel and Stephen Taplin, demonstrated that natural environments actively restore our cognitive capacity. Nature isn't just nice to have, it is, in a measurable neurological sense, medicine for the mind. And on Mars, every single one of those inputs gone. The sky on Mars is not blue. It's a pale butterscotch, a pinkish tan, sometimes a bruised violet during dust storms. The sun is 35% dimmer than Earth. The average temperature is minus 60 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. One breath outside your suit and you die within minutes. There are no birds, no insects, no wind you'll ever feel on your face, no rain, no rivers, no forests, no oceans. Just red rock, red dust, red silence. Isolation and confinement, the prison no one chose. The first and perhaps most crushing psychological force on Mars won't come from the alien landscape, it'll come from the habitat itself. Mars colonists will spend the vast majority of their lives inside pressurized modules, essentially sealed metal tubes, not because they want to, because the outside will kill them. We have a rough blueprint for what this feels like. Since the 1990s, researchers at NASA and other agencies have studied humans in extreme isolation environments, Antarctic research stations, underwater habitats like Aquarius, and simulated Mars missions like the HIC's program in Hawaii, where volunteers lived inside a dome on a lava field for up to a year with no unsimulated contact with the outside world. And what they found was sobering. Within weeks, even highly trained, highly motivated individuals began experiencing what psychologists call third-quarter phenomenon, a spike in depression, irritability, conflict, and hopelessness that hits roughly 3/4 of the way through a mission. People who chose this, who trained for it, who believed in it, still broke down. HIC's crew members reported vivid, almost desperate dreams about nature, about feeling grass underfoot, about swimming. These weren't just pleasant daydreams, they were symptoms of deprivation. NASA psychologist Dr. Nick Canis, one of the world's foremost experts on space psychology, identified a cluster of predictable problems: displacement of negative feelings onto mission commanders and ground control, a kind of psychological transference where frustration with the situation gets aimed at authority figures. This has already happened on real space missions, including early Skylab crews who essentially staged a mutiny by doing less work and staring out the window for hours. On a real Mars mission, lasting years or decades, there's no calling home for comfort. The communication delay between Mars and Earth ranges from 3 to 22 minutes one way. A phone call with your mother takes 45 minutes minimum if she answers immediately. There's no video call, no voice of a loved one in real time. In moments of grief, crisis, or breakdown, you are functionally alone. And then there's the question of who you're confined with. Social psychologists call it interpersonal friction, the wear of constant proximity to the same small group of people. Studies from Antarctic stations show that minor personality conflicts that seem manageable in week 1 become consuming, identity-threatening conflicts by month 8. On Mars, there is no going for a walk to cool down. There is no personal space that isn't 3 meters from someone else. The walls of your world are quite literally the walls of your habitat. The loss of sky, sensory deprivation on a planetary scale. Let's talk about something that rarely comes up in Mars discussions, but that I believe is one of the most quietly devastating aspects of Martian existence: the loss of open sky. Humans are profoundly sky-oriented creatures. Sunrise and sunset trigger hormonal cascades: melatonin, cortisol, serotonin. Our circadian rhythms evolved over millions of years under the specific light spectrum of Earth's sun, filtered through Earth's atmosphere. On Mars, that's gone. Not diminished, gone. Mars has a day that's 24 hours and 37 minutes long, close enough to Earth's to be cruel, actually. Your body expects a 24-hour cycle. You'll be living on a 24.37 cycle. That 37 minutes adds up. Over time, your internal clock drifts. Studies of Mars mission simulations show that crews often develop what's called free-running sleep cycles, their sleep gradually shifting later and later, detaching from any natural anchor. And the light quality inside a habitat is artificial, fluorescent, LED, engineered. There's no late afternoon golden hour slanting through a window. There's no watching clouds move. Astronauts on the ISS have consistently reported that their favorite activity, the thing that kept them psychologically grounded, was looking out the cupola window at Earth. It was, they said, proof that beauty still existed. It was evidence of a living universe. What do Mars colonists look out at? A flat, rust-colored wasteland under a dim, alien sun in a sky the color of old bruises. There's a concept in environmental psychology called restorative environments, places that reduce stress and restore attention. Natural settings are the gold standard: oceans, forests, open skies. We know that hospital patients recover faster when their rooms have windows facing nature. We know that prisoners in cells with natural light show lower rates of depression. We know that urban workers with views of trees are measurably more productive and less anxious. On Mars, none of this offers. The colonists will be, in the most literal sense imaginable, in a box, staring at screens or rock. Some researchers have proposed elaborate solutions: virtual reality environments simulating Earth nature, carefully curated soundscapes, full-spectrum lighting that mimics Earth's seasonal variations, and even smell machines designed to emit the scent of pine forests or ocean air. But here's the haunting question, and I want you to sit with this. Is a simulation of beauty the same as beauty? If you put on a VR headset and walk through a forest, but you know it's not real, does it restore you the same way? Early evidence suggests partially, not completely. The brain knows. The body knows. Something is always missing. Grief, mourning the Earth you'll never see again. Let's talk about something even deeper than isolation or sensory deprivation. Let's talk about grief. The first Mars colonists will likely go knowing they may never return to Earth. Not probably, may never. The economics of early colonization, the physical deconditioning of bodies adapted to Martian gravity, the radiation exposure accumulating in their cells, all of these factors may make a return journey not just impossible, but impractical. This is not like moving to another country. When immigrants cross oceans, they carry grief, yes, but they can, in theory, return. They can call home and hear the language of their childhood. They can eat food from their homeland. They can feel, across the distance, that the world they loved still exists and they are still part of it. Mars colonists face something we don't have a word for yet. It's not exile, it's not emigration, It's something closer to what we might call cosmic severance, a permanent, irrevocable departure from the only living world in the known universe. Psychologists who study terminal illness describe something called anticipatory grief, the grief that begins before the loss occurs. Mars colonists will grieve before they leave, and then they'll grieve after they arrive, and then they'll grieve for the rest of their lives. They'll grieve the smell of rain they'll never smell again, the face of a parent aging without them, the birth of nieces and nephews they'll watch in tiny delayed video files, the death of people they love delivered as a message with a 20-minute lag, to which their reply of "I love you, I'm so sorry" will arrive another 20 minutes after the moment has already passed. Dr. Cheryl Bishop, a sociologist and analog astronaut who has extensively studied isolation missions, describes this as anticipatory homesickness at a civilizational scale. It is grief